Chapter 2141. Fang Yuan's Revival. Chapter 2141. Fang Yuan's Revival. Central Continent, in the depths of an earth trench. Inside a pitch-black cave, two cold rays of light shone suddenly. This was by Ning Bing's gaze that as she ended this closed cultivation session, she had not only created an ice path killer move, but also gained some insight towards ice path. I can clearly feel my understanding of ice and snow deepening by a little. I am not far from Grandmaster level. By Ning Bing mumbled. Such a pity that after I converted to Dragon Man, my comprehension speed of ice and snow path fell sharply. My current master level is mostly the accumulation from before. Previously, Bai Ning Bing possessed Northern Dark Ice Soul physique and had an extremely high innate advantage when cultivating Ice Path and Soul Path. Her attainment levels in those paths could increase rapidly, but after converting her body, it influenced this aspect. Dragon Man was specialized in Enslavement Path. If Bai Ning Bing were to change to cultivating Enslavement Path, she would have an advantage in it. But the level of this advantage could not compare to the help the Northern Dark Ice Soul physique provided in cultivating Ice Path and Soul Path. Man was the spirit of all living beings. The talent of the 10 extreme physiques was far superior to the talents of the variant human races. Bai Ning Bing cautiously walked out of the cave. This cave was formed naturally and was at the side of a cliff in the earth trench. Bai Ning Bing activated Breath Concealment Ice Pearl. Shortly after, an ice thread, like thin line, appeared on her slender and fair neck, circling around it. This move was created by Bai Ning Bing and was not from Bai Xiang's true inheritance. The killer move did not let out any aura when activated. Because the aura was stored as tiny ice pearls on the ice thread, the disadvantage of this move was that it sacrificed some of its power, and once there were too many ice pearls, they would combine into one and turn into a noose that would strangle Bai Ning Bing, causing serious injuries or even death. I must conceal my aura when exploring this deep into the earth trench. Bai Ning Bing's expression was calm as she quietly activated an investigative killer move to scout her surroundings. After she left the earth treasury, she started cultivating in the depths of the earth trench. She was chased down by wild beast groups and suffered a lot. Fortunately, with the killer move by Xiang, as long as a fragment of her body remained, Bai Ning Bing was undying. Otherwise, she would not have survived until now. There are 3 immemorial desolate beasts within a 100-li radius, as well as an ancient desolate beast group. Bai Ning Bing quickly understood her surroundings. She only had rank 7 cultivation. It was extremely dangerous for her to live in this environment. Even ordinary rank 8 Gua mortals found it difficult to explore this place. With huge risks came huge rewards. The cultivation resources here were at rank 8 level. Even if Bai Ning Bing could not use them, she could sell them in Treasure Yellow Heaven and buy the resources she needed. Bai Ning Bing liked taking risks. Most people would be on tenterhooks about this kind of life, but she immersed in it and enjoyed the thrill of being at the brink of life and death. Although it is dangerous to cultivate here, there is still a chance of survival. But in the 5 regions and 2 heavens, it is even more dangerous. Be they Fang Yuan, Shadow Sect, or Heavenly Court, they will all hunt me down. Bai Ning Bing had a clear judgment of her situation. Bai Ning Bing had just walked out of the cave when her expression changed slightly. She sensed that most of the wild beasts suddenly acted like cats that had smelled fish, beginning to rush towards one direction. Some beasts and beast groups were unmoved, but they were soon engulfed by the will of the majority of the beasts and rushed forward as well. Thereupon, a massive beast tide formed rapidly under Bai Ning Bing's gaze. What's going on? These beasts seemed to be attracted to something. They gave up on their fights and territories to go after it. What could it be? Bai Ning Bing could not help but feel curious. Without any hesitation, she immediately activated a movement killer move as she joined the beast tide. The beast tide started gathering together countless ancient desolate beasts, and some conspicuous immemorial desolate beasts were surrounding an area. This area was also on the precipice of the earth trench. It protruded slowly like a burial mound. At this moment, it was letting out yellowish-brown and red light. The light was like water as it moved around dazzlingly. On the peak of the burial mound, there was a tombstone. The tombstone seemed to have writings, but they were obstructed by the light. They could not be seen even by using investigative killer moves. Bai Ning Bing had already transformed into Bai Xiang's state and joined with the beast groups. What place is this? There is such a dense earth path and fire path aura here. What is hiding here? Immortal materials? Or immortal goo? But why is there a tombstone? The tombstone seems to have some characters written on it. Is it made by someone? Who is buried there? Bai Ningbing looked at the surrounding beasts. She had a trace of understanding. Most of these beasts are earth path and fire path beasts. No wonder they were attracted here. There are only beasts of other paths here, and they were forcefully pulled in by the beast tide. Boom! Right at this time, the two lights over the burial mound suddenly shot towards the sky, turning into a giant yellow-red pillar of light. The beasts roared in excitement. Some beasts began to charge towards the pillar as if trying to get the top spot, but they were soon knocked down and trampled by the beasts behind them. The beast groups fell into chaos and madness, fighting and killing each other as they charged towards the pillar of light. But even if some beasts reached the front and collided with the pillar, they did not get what they wanted. The pillar of light remained unmoving. It was like a large mountain that refused to budge an inch. Bai Ningbing was a Gu immortal and had intelligence far above the beasts. She hid outside the chaotic battle, and although she was still implicated, she mainly observed the changes that as time passed. There were heavy casualties among the beast groups with corpses scattered everywhere. The yellow-red pillar of light also started to shrink, seemingly converging into the burial mound. The beasts became even more frantic, their bloodthirsty, pained, and chewing noises filled Bai Ningbing's ears. This vast world is truly profound without limits, and it has endless mysteries to explore. Let me see what is going on. Bai Ningbing began to move closer towards the mound. When the beasts had killed each other and the survivors were riddled with injuries, the yellow-red light was completely absorbed by the mound. The tombstone on the mound also dug into the earth. The mound seemed to have reached the point of qualitative change as it suddenly split apart. Crack, crack. Thin cracks spread all over the mound. Shortly after, the mound burst open from the inside, and a Gu immortal's aura leaked towards the surroundings. Naked male immortal opened his eyes and looked at his surroundings in a daze. Who am I? But at the next moment, he started becoming clear-headed as he recalled many things. I remember. I am Fang Yuan. The male immortal's eyes shrunk in amazement and shock. Roar. Beast groups roared and pounced towards the naked immortal agitatedly. The male immortal opened his eyes wide and flew to the air. I am alive again. I am Fang Yuan. I am Lava Demon Lord. Bam! A huge sound erupted as red light waves spread from the male immortal's body. The light waves surged like a tsunami, drowning its surroundings. Everywhere they passed by, the red light waves burned everything. Most of the beast groups were burned to death instantly, and some of the surviving beasts were even more injured. Some were lying on the ground on the verge of death, while a small portion of the beasts went berserk as they charged towards the male immortal. The male immortal Fang Yuan's expression turned solemn as he let out the red light waves again. The red light swept the whole battlefield, causing a large number of casualties, but there were still several immemorial desolate beasts that managed to reach Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan could not keep his composure anymore as he shouted towards Bai Ningbing. Lend me a hand. I will reward you heavily after this. Okay. Bai Ningbing agreed without hesitation and attacked directly. Within a short period of time, she easily killed those several immemorial desolate beasts. It was because they were already heavily injured. Many thanks, friend. Fortunately, with your help, I could, Fang Yuan was suddenly cut into two at the waist. Bai Ningbing grabbed his head, holding his upper body as she smiled cruelly. I thought about it. It is still more convenient to soul search directly. Fang Yuan stared at Bai Ningbing with wide eyes. This female immortal had light blue vertical dragon pupils and had a pair of spiral dragon horns. Her glistening silver hair was shiny like crystal, extending to her waist. Her skin was snow white, and on her peerlessly beautiful face, there was a hint of crazed indifference. Such a beautiful woman. Fang Yuan died with his eyes wide open. Bai Ningbing searched Fang Yuan's soul, but was unable to obtain any valuable information. Although Fang Yuan revived in the mound, he was still muddle-headed and did not know many things. Bai Ningbing landed on the broken mound and searched carefully. There were still no gains. This area had such a large scale of earth path and fire path down marks, but they have disappeared completely, and it is no different from ordinary ground now. But Bai Ningbing looked at Fang Yuan's body. No. To be more accurate, these Tao marks condensed into the immortal body. Wonderful, truly amazing. Bai Ningbing praised repeatedly. Through soul search, she knew this Fang Yuan was from a previous generation. He cultivated earth path, but later inherited heart fire true inheritance, so cultivated fire path as well. He did fire monster business and had been one of the tycoons of this business in Treasure Yellow Heaven. He had died long ago, but for some reason, he actually revived. This grave-like mound seems to have the same effect as Heavenly Court's immortal graveyard. It can let Gu immortals revive. Bai Ningbing was excited about this discovery. She had made a huge gain this time. Not only did she discover the mysterious mound, she also captured Fang Yuan's soul and obtained his inheritance, as well as cultivation insights. The even bigger battle spoils were the beast corpses that filled the battlefield. There were many rank 8 immortal materials here. Rank 7 immortal materials were even higher in number. Sovereign immortal aperture, mini southern border, rumble. With a loud sound, a mountain landed on the ground like a large stamp. The famous mountain was red and squarish. This mountain did not have even a trace of soil. It was completely formed from all kinds of copper. It was Copper Seal Mountain. Previously, Copper Seal Mountain was targeted by the tribulation of the 3,000 heaven path down marks. Half of it was split by the lightning, giving out dense smoke and sparks. The entire mountain had turned into a molten state and emitted a terrible smell. But now, after Fang Yuan issued the corresponding missions, Copper Seal Mountain was repaired by many Gu immortals. It was not only restored to its former state, it was even larger now. Chapter 2142. Ideas about resources. Alright, we have finally moved this Copper Seal Mountain now. The exhausted Gu immortals let out breaths of relief. Point 1 Rockman Gu immortal did not rest and began to prepare. After a long while, he activated an Earth Path killer move. Under the effect of this killer move, Copper Seal Mountain seemed to shake slightly. The base of the mountain started emitting a thin, earthen yellow radiance. The threads of light gathered and formed a translucent, golden Earth Path mountain root. The mountain root pierced the ground and began to spread quickly. The Rockman Gu immortal continued to maintain the killer move. He had an expression of difficulty. His immortal essence was consumed rapidly. Finally, he could no longer continue and stopped the killer move. The mountain root stopped spreading rapidly and paused. It had entered deep underground and began to grow with normal speed. In the coming years, this mountain root would join with the surrounding Tao marks, maintaining and helping to stabilize Copper Seal Mountain. Trees had tree roots, while mountains had mountain roots. If they were casually moved, the roots could be broken and result in their destruction. Therefore, moving famous trees and mountains required special wood path and earth path methods. Otherwise, there were more disadvantages than advantages in moving them forcefully. The Rockman Gu immortal sat cross-legged on the ground and started to recover. He was extremely tired. His immortal essence expenditure was also the highest among the immortals. Naturally, after the mission completion, his contribution points would be that much higher as well. As for the other Gu immortals, they had finished resting and started to carry out the final inspection. After a while, the immortals gathered once again. That will do. This Copper Seal Mountain state is good. The mountain root situation is also pretty good. Such a famous mountain and mountain root can completely bear the task of being an earth vein node. Master is truly majestic and bold. He is actually constructing an earth vein in the entire mini 5 regions. This plan is really too grand and will need at least 10 years to complete. It really makes me admire him endlessly. The immortals nodded. They had the same feeling. All right, let's leave. We need to relocate the next famous mountain. There are not many Gu immortals who can relocate mountains, but there will be fewer tasks like this as we continue finishing them. The contribution points are also abundant. Let's work hard and try to finish some more. Yes. Recently, if someone cannot continue, they will make a trip to the liver life formation. No one wants to give up on those contribution points. I already went before this. Haha, is that so? I also went there. The immortals left Copper Seal Mountain while conversing. If the mini 5 regions were looked from high above, one would see about 10 groups of people working hard to relocate mountains. Of course, it was not just famous mountains. Besides famous mountains, There were also the 10 Earths that could act as Earth vein nodes. There was a detailed description regarding 10 Earths in Southern Border's Paradise Earth True Inheritance. The 10 Earths were Earth Abyss, Earth Trench, Earth Tunnel, Earth Cave, Earth Prison, Production Earth, Flying Earth, Formation Earth, Treasure Earth, and Tomb Earth. These 10 Earths could bear the task of being Earth vein nodes. The first step in Fang Yuan's artificial Earth vein construction was to arrange all kinds of Earth vein nodes in the many 5 regions. He would then use Earth path methods to connect the nodes. Lastly, he would make adjustments. Currently, Fang Yuan could only create half of the 10 Earths: Earth Abyss, Earth Trench, Earth Tunnel, Production Earth, and Formation Earth. The other 5 Earths were beyond his ability. For example, Tomb Earth. The formation of this Earth was shrouded in mystery. Even Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable could not see through it.GU immortals could revive in this area. Tomb Earth's tombstone was also extremely mysterious, possessing the ability of information path. It seemed to be able to extract and condense all the information of the Gu Immortal's life from the river of time. The greater the reputation of the Gu Immortal, the more detailed the writings on the tombstone, which seemed to provide more help towards the Gu Immortal's revival. The specific relation between them had to be verified. At present, Fang Yuan's subordinates were all moving mountains. Mountains usually acted as Earth vein nodes, and not the 10 Earths. These mountains needed to be at least of famous mountain level. There are not many famous mountains in the Sovereign Immortal Aperture. I estimate they can only cover 30% of the Earth vein nodes in the first step of the plan. The artificial Earth vein project was extremely large and needed the most investment. Fang Yuan had annexed a large number of grotto heavens and obtained an inestimable amount of cultivation resources. But now, he was starting to see the limits. Fang Yuan still had a famous mountain which he did not use. That was the recently obtained Human Smoke Mountain. It is better to keep this mountain. My intuition is telling me that if I continue to use Chai Clan's human path research results, I will be able to condense the essence of Human Smoke Mountain and form an incomplete human mountain. Fang Yuan was a human path grandmaster. His intuition regarding human path was much more accurate than human path masters. After killing many mortals raised by Chai Clan, Human Sea was complete, but Human Mountain had yet to form. The combination of Human Mountain and Human Sea would definitely be extremely powerful. Even in 500 years of his previous life, Fang Yuan had not seen it. But this was a long-term project. The investment in constructing a secluded domain of heaven and earth was extremely big, much bigger than the investment in an artificial earth vein. The reason the incomplete Human Sea could be completed was because there were the painstaking accumulations of Eastern Sea's Xia Clan.It was at its final stage and required human path resources. Eastern Sea Xia Clan suffered from their righteous path identity and could only collect the resources secretly. How could they dare to be like Fang Yuan, killing and massacring openly? Firstly, Fang Yuan chose the targets of slaughter cleverly. He did not cross the limits of the righteous Qi alliance. They ignored it. Later, he paid attention to Chai Clan's mortals. Fang Yuan decisively gave up on a portion of the benefits to negotiate forcefully. Even a super clan like Chai Clan finally submitted to Fang Yuan's demonic might, lowering their head to cooperate. I am starting to lack resources. Fang Yuan frowned slightly. The plan of constructing Human Mountain was definitely far away in the future. In fact, the incomplete refinement C was also on the verge of being consumed. Fang Yuan had invested too much in this recent period of time. In fact, he had looted countless cultivation resources. These resources mostly came from 2 heavens grotto heavens, which had a long history spanning several hundreds of thousands of years, and even 1,000,000 years, but it would not last long. Fang Yuan had been refining rank 8 immortal Gu on a large scale. At the same time, he used rank 6 and rank 7 cultivation resources to nurture his subordinates. Fang Yuan had too many Gu immortals under him. Just Langya's sect alone had many hairy man Gu immortals. The variant human alliance had even more Gu immortals. There was also the group of variant human Gu immortals like Bing Yuan, Shizong, and Mo Tan Sang. Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven's human Gu immortals were close to 10, including Combat Beast King. And there was also Lady White Rabbit, Fairy Miaoyin, as well as Fang Yuan's clones Wu Shui, Zhanbu Du, and others. Not long ago, Mushroom Man Gu immortals joined him. Among them, the strongest was Ku Xian Hong. The size of Fang Yuan's subordinate Gu immortals far surpassed normal super forces. Even longevity heaven could not compare to him. That was to say, only the former shadow sect that had zombie alliance, and heavenly court that had the 10 great ancient sects under it, could compare to him. Were Wu clan to possess this many Gu immortals, Wu Yong might be laughing happily even in his dreams. A formidable character like Wu Yong did not care about the difference in races. He only cared if they were usable or not. Naturally, it would be better if they were all human Gu immortals. Fang Yuan was expanding so much that no amount of cultivation resources would be enough for him to use. Fortunately, his foundation was extremely robust and could last for this long. But now, it was beginning to show signs of exhaustion. Looks like I need to plunder resources again. Although his accumulations were still there, Fang Yuan was preparing for the future. I have already looted the resources of the variant human alliance. Only a portion of the grotto heavens remain now. Mushroom Man Paradise's situation is also the same. Almost all the mushroom men have moved over, let alone the resources accumulated there. Fang Yuan analyzed. He had placed his hopes on myriad beast fusion color heaven, but from the information Jean Boudou brought, Fang Yuan knew longevity heaven had placed its forces in myriad beast fusion color heaven. Myriad beast fusion color heaven itself was very powerful and was difficult to conquer. There were definitely forces eyeing it other than longevity heaven.So. Although that place had plenty of resources, Fang Yuan did not want to target it at the moment. Eastern Sea's blue dragon whale also had abundant resources, but it was also not possible. Ever since the last time he left, Fang Yuan had not been able to find any traces of the blue dragon whale that he had used the killer move heaven and earth travel to try to enter the blue dragon whale's immortal aperture, but failed mysteriously. Every time, there is still a group of 2 heavens grotto heavens who submitted to Chi Si ancestor. They are all humans. These grotto heavens also have plenty of cultivation resources. Maybe I can cooperate with Chi Si clone. For the moment, Fang Yuan did not want to invade super forces like Chai clan and Wu clan. That would expend his own luck. Any super force possessed enormous luck and had a few tricks up their sleeves. There might not be many benefits and the risks were definitely huge. More importantly, even if he invaded super forces, Fang Yuan did not want to take over too much of the outside world's territories. That it was much better to develop the sovereign immortal aperture. Both his territories and himself were in one body. It was extremely flexible and convenient. Other Gu immortals did not have the sovereign immortal aperture, so it was more beneficial for them to occupy territories. If they possessed the sovereign immortal aperture, they might also make the same choice as Fang Yuan. A strong wind suddenly blew over from 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool and charged towards the skies before dissipating. He Chunxiu brought good news. Wu clan's Fan Wind Gu was advanced successfully, though it failed 2 times in the process. Rank 8 Fan Wind Gu. In recent times, for elements square regret blood refinement pool had gone through some adjustments, and its ability was much stronger now. Including Fan Wind Gu, Fang Yuan had already refined over 50 rank 8 immortal Gu with 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool. I can sell true inheritances on a large scale and treasure yellow heaven in exchange for cultivation resources. The profits from doing Gu refinement business are also quite amazing. Fang Yuan thought of 2 ways to gather resources. According to Fang Yuan's current refinement path strength, he was only unable to refine rank 9 and rank 10 immortal Gu, as well as some specific rank 8 immortal Gu. For instance, Fang Yuan lacked sufficient rank 8 luck path immortal materials for fortune rivaling heaven immortal Gu. Chapter 2143, Tiger Poison Gu. You have only 7 days left to live. Meng Qiuzhen entered Paradise Earth's dream realm. What welcomed him was this sentence. What? Meng Qiuzhen blurted out in astonishment. In front of him was an old mushroom man granny. She sighed and said in a guilty tone, "Little me, your grandmother is too useless. I really have no way to treat your illness." Using this short time, Meng Qiuzhen quickly scanned his surroundings. He found that not only was there a mushroom man in front of him, he himself was also a mushroom man. And right now, they were in a hut that was specific to mushroom man culture. This hut had deep green walls. It was constructed with special grass and mud. The roof of the hut was made with straws. The furnishings inside the hut were simple and revealed this was a doctor's home. Grandma, is it really hopeless? Is there really no other way? Meng Qiuzhen pretended to be in disbelief while trying hard to find clues regarding this dream realm. The Mushroom Man Granny hesitated for a moment before saying, "There is a way." Meng Qiuzhen immediately asked, "What way?" The Mushroom Man Granny shook her head and walked towards a table. There were medicine pots all over the table. Some were white, some were gray, but most were black. Some of these medicine pots were opened. They were filled with dried medicinal herbs or pitch-black medicinal liquid, whereas some medicine pots were covered tightly with lids. The old granny seemed to be in a complicated mood. She subconsciously moved these medicine pots before gradually calming down. With her back towards Meng Qiuzhen, she said, "The one thing I can think of that can possibly save you is not a method, but a person." A person? Meng Qiuzhen got near to the old granny. He saw these medicine pots actually contained goo worms. The old granny sighed. "Sigh. You know her too." Meng Qiuzhen had no idea who she meant, but he had plenty of experience and developed quite a glib tongue. He said, "Could it be her?" "Indeed, her. My tribe's previous witch, Fang Yuan," said the old granny. Every Mushroom Man tribe had a witch. Different from the Merman tribe's saintess, witches did not hold authority, but they usually had high reputation, because witches were the most capable female doctors in the Mushroom Man tribe. Without the witch's support and blessing, the Mushroom Man's next tribe leader would face questioning and might even be unable to take the position. You only have hope of survival by looking for the previous witch, Fang Yuan. The old granny emphasized. Meng Qiuzhen immediately asked, "Then, where is she?" "Whip Mountain." The old granny looked at Meng Qiuzhen. "Little me, you are a good child. I have watched you grow up. The plague is terrorizing the tribe, but you should not have been infected. It was because you helped me treat others of your own accord that you got infected. You also know a thing or two about Fang Yuan's matter. Although she is extremely strong, she betrayed the tribe, so you can only go look for her personally. The tribe won't help you." Meng Qiuzhen nodded. He keenly sensed that the old granny had some hidden meaning behind her words. He suddenly had a flash of inspiration and asked, "But Grandma, I simply cannot reach there with my strength. I must see Fang Yuan to obtain her help, not only to keep my life, but more than that, I want to bring back a way to treat the illness." "Good child, good child." The old granny was relieved. "That is what I want you to do. Rest assured, you are taking the risk to go to Whip Mountain. Your journey will be filled with dangers, and Whip Mountain is moreover a human territory. How can I, your grandmother, let you go like that?" The old granny turned sideways and opened all of the medicine pots on the table. "You can take 3 of the goo worms here. They will provide a huge help to you." "Many thanks, Grandma," Meng Qiuzhen said while thinking. It was like this indeed that he had plenty of experiences in exploring dream realms. With just this conversation, he had already probed the key of this dream realm stage. The crucial hidden point of this stage of the dream realm is the selection of goo. If I did not sense the old granny's hidden meaning and mentioned it, I might not have gotten the chance to select goo. Choosing 3 goo worms will definitely lower the difficulty of the dream realm. But which 3 would be better for me? Meng Qiuzhen carefully observed the goo worms while secretly activating Dream Butterfly Immortal Goo. With the help of Dream Butterfly Immortal Goo, Meng Qiuzhen soon found various clues of the second stage. Choose quickly, stop wasting time needlessly. You need to treasure every breath of time you have. The old granny urged. Meng Qiuzhen said through clenched teeth. "Grandma, let me consider for a bit longer." The old granny said with a cold face. "Humph. You are already in this situation. You must be decisive. Choose 3 goo worms immediately. Then leave the valley through this secret passage. If this time passes, that passage will be closed for 7 days. Choose quickly." Meng Qiuzhen was not able to put it off any longer. But fortunately, he had already gotten much information in this short period of time. "I choose these 3. Meng Qiuzhen quickly chose 3 goo from the tens of medicine pots. "Good. You chose well. Huang Xiaomi, time is pressing. I can only help you till here. Leave now." The old granny's voice had just ended when Meng Qiuzhen's sight turned dark. The dream realm entered the second stage. He had rank 3 cultivation, and using his goo worms as well as the 3 new goo, He traveled rapidly through the mountains. Although it was arduous, he walked through the dangerous man-eating forest, past the high fog, and crossed the death marsh. He was now facing his final obstacle, a thousand-beast king-level black bear. Meng Qiuzhen fought a long and bitter battle with the black bear. Finally, the black bear collapsed on the ground. Its thick body shrank within a few breaths of time like a balloon that was poked in just a short while. Its blood, flesh, and organs turned into purple poison which flowed out of its wounds and orifices. Meng Qiuzhen carefully squatted and took out tiger poison goo. This rank 3 tiger poison goo was one of the 3 goo he chose in the first stage of the dream realm. Once activated, it could emit tiger poison. Tiger poison goo was like a black scorpion, but its head had golden markings that resembled the character for king, and it came out of the white-silver aperture and started absorbing the poison that was all over the ground. Soon, the poison was completely absorbed by it, and its body was slightly enlarged. With a shift of Meng Qiuzhen's will, tiger poison goo obediently flew back into his aperture. The first stage had many poison goo, like snake poison goo, dove poison goo, bee poison goo, and so on. Against the thousand-beast king-level black bear, bee poison goo, which is restrained by bear physique, should never be selected. Snake poison goo and dove poison goo have rather slow effects. Only tiger poison goo is specialized in dealing with this kind of large beast, and its effect takes place quickly as well. Moreover, when used with poison liquid goo, tiger poison can change form and become extremely practical in battle. In the fight with the Black Bear King, Meng Qiuzhen used poison liquid goo and tiger poison goo to form a poison liquid tiger. The poison liquid tiger was able to fight the Black Bear King head-on. It greatly made up for Meng Qiuzhen's weakness in direct combat. Meng Qiuzhen stayed at the back and continuously used poison path goo worms to help the poison liquid tiger and claimed victory in the end. Naturally, tiger poison goo also had its disadvantage. The disadvantage was quite big as well. There was a common saying that even tigers would not hurt their cubs. Tiger poison goo had no effect towards infantile targets. According to Dream Butterfly Immortal Goo's information, Meng Qiuzhen had already known in the first stage that the black bear was the final obstacle and also the most difficult one, that he acted according to the conditions and selected the most crucial tiger poison goo. Tiger poison goo's toxicity and venom quantity has fallen greatly, even though I gathered the remaining poison after the battle. Tiger poison goo needs time to recuperate. My overall power has decreased quite a bit. Fortunately, this is the final obstacle, and this is a dream realm, not the real wilderness. Huh? What happened? Meng Qiuzhen's expression changed slightly. The second stage of the dream realm was still stable and did not disappear like he expected. Is there still another obstacle? It can't be. Dream Butterfly Immortal Goo already scouted everything. Wait a moment. In the search before, there was also a mortal. This mortal did not have goo master cultivation, so Meng Qiuzhen did not think much of it. Maybe, if tiger poison goo was not selected, the mortal would provide some help to the goo cultivator exploring the dream realm. But now, Meng Qiuzhen realized this mortal seemed to be a crucial factor. According to the gathered information, Meng Qiuzhen naturally knew of this mortal's location, that he immediately moved towards the location. Halfway on his journey, his strength started decreasing rapidly. What's going on? Meng Qiuzhen immediately inspected himself and turned pale. The plague has erupted. There were clearly about 2 more days left. Could it be? The battle with the black bear expended too much of my energy, and my body is unable to bear it, so the plague erupted earlier. This plague was specific to mushroom men. Once it erupted, mushrooms would grow all over the body. The bigger the mushrooms grew, the more vitality they would extract from the mushroom men. The plague broke out so violently that when Meng Qiuzhen discovered it, he was already sapped of his strength and collapsed on the ground. Is this dream realm exploration going to end here? I haven't even seen Paradise Earth's face. To help the main body's plan of constructing Earth Vein, Meng Qiuzhen started the exploration of Paradise Earth's dream realm ahead of time. No, I still have hope. Persevere. I must persevere. This place is not that far from that mortal's location. Although Meng Qiuzhen was powerless and could only lie on the ground, it had not reached the worst situation yet. At least, he had strength to breath and could use the goo worms in his aperture that he immediately activated a healing goo worm and started delaying for time. The healing goo could not cure the root problem and only lessened the threat of the plague. But its effect was minimal, like a child trying to stop a car. Damn it, the battle with the Black Bear King expended over half of my primeval essence. My primeval essence will be used up soon. Meng Qiuzhen was forced into a predicament again. But right at this time, he heard rustling noises. It's that mortal's footsteps. Good. Meng Qiuzhen's eyes shone as he used all his strength to shout, "Help, help." Chapter 2144, Pulling Mushrooms. Even though he used all his strength to shout, Meng Qiuzhen's voice was still faint. Who was asking for help? A mortal girl pushed aside the brambles and came to the place. "Here, look below." Meng Qiuzhen spoke, his voice so faint that it was like a whisper. The mortal girl did not hear him, mumbling, "Did I hear wrongly? Sigh. It is getting late. I need to quickly gather mushrooms and sell them in Clan Village. There are so many mushrooms here." The mortal girl saw Meng Qiuzhen, but right now, Meng Qiuzhen's body was already covered with mushrooms. The mortal girl squatted and started picking the mushrooms on Meng Qiuzhen's body. Every mushroom she picked, the cause of Meng Qiuzhen's falling vitality would decrease by one, that his illness was alleviated rapidly and his strength slowly recovered. That's right. There are still 2 days before my illness truly breaks out. For now at least, my life should be safe. Meng Qiuzhen quickly realized. He then spoke. "Girl, the mushrooms on my body are delicious. It doesn't matter if you pluck them all." The mortal girl jumped from shock. "Don't be afraid. I am also a person. It was me who asked for help earlier. Thank you for saving me, kind girl. But I did not do anything." Meng Qiuzhen gave a forced smile. "Pluck all the mushrooms from my body, and that will be saving me. These mushrooms are harmful to us mushroom men, but they are harmless and even beneficial to other races." The girl was shocked before smiling. "So you are a mushroom man. I have heard rumors about you guys since I was a child. The rumors said you were gentle and never harmed people. I had never seen a living mushroom man before I met you." Meng Qiuzhen quickly said. "Pick the mushrooms quickly. I can't last much longer." The girl's hands were nimble. She rapidly picked the mushrooms from Meng Qiuzhen's body. He was out of the hopeless situation and rescued from the brink of failure. "There is still one last mushroom," the girl said seriously. "Wait." Meng Qiuzhen's expression changed. "You don't need to pick that mushroom." "Ah." The girl blinked her pure eyes and her face reddened slightly. "I can't pull it out. Does it hurt?" Meng Qiuzhen was pale as he took a sharp breath. "Don't pull it." But the girl shook her head, saying stubbornly, "That won't do. Mushroom Man Big Brother, you said it earlier. I need to pick all the mushrooms from your body for you to be cured." Don't. Ah." The girl pulled up her sleeves, showing an extremely serious and cute expression. I don't believe I can't pull it out." Meng Qiuzhen, a huff. Amidst the miserable cries of Meng Qiuzhen, the second stage was finally passed. His sight changed from a chaotic whirlpool of colors to gradually clearing up. This was a bustling and busy market with people walking everywhere. "This is Clan Village?" Behind Meng Qiuzhen, the mushroom man Huang Xiaomi, who was covered tightly, said in a low voice. Meng Qiuzhen's mind shook slightly. In the previous 2 stages, he had played the role of Huang Xiaomi. But in this third stage, his identity was actually changed. This situation was not common. Meng Qiuzhen quickly inspected himself. I became that human girl." Meng Qiuzhen sighed inwardly. Huang Xiaomi's strength was barely enough, and now, Meng Qiuzhen was a mortal, a young girl at that. The change in identity caused Meng Qiuzhen to feel some doubts. What was the main mission in this Paradise Earth dream realm? In the previous 2 stages, he had Huang Xiaomi's identity and had estimated the dream realm's main mission was to save the Mushroom Man tribe by curing the plague. But now that his identity changed, Meng Qiuzhen immediately felt his speculation wavering intensely. No matter what, since Huang Xiaomi followed the human girl into Clan Village, I should still try to help Huang Xiaomi to find the Mushroom Man witch. Meng Qiuzhen decided to continue following the previous trail. "Feng Tu, you came? Quick, the position beside me is very good. Take it quickly. The evening market is not like the morning market. It only lasts for a short period of time." A middle-aged uncle waved at Meng Qiuzhen. Thank you, uncle. Meng Qiuzhen thought for a bit and placed her basket filled with mushrooms at the space beside the uncle. Huang Xiaomi silently helped Meng Qiuzhen set up the mushrooms. The middle-aged uncle took a glance and exclaimed, "These mushrooms are really fresh." "Naturally," Huang Xiaomi said proudly. The middle-aged uncle's gaze moved towards him. This is my distant relative. He came to help me." Meng Qiuzhen quickly replied. The middle-aged uncle did not ask anymore. The evening market had already started. Crowds of people were moving around, and everyone was busy. Some were busy buying, some were busy selling. The traded goods were all mortal materials like mushrooms, vegetables, bean cakes, and so on. This was a mortal market and had daily necessities. There were no transactions of goo worms, unless a merchant caravan passed through Tu Clan village. After about 5 minutes, the crowd began to grow sparse. This time, sounds of disturbance came from ahead. Step aside, step aside. Move aside. Can't you see Lord Greenbeast is here?" A young man shouted. 5 to 6 people were pushing through the narrow pavement. Everywhere they went, pedestrians made way in fear and nervousness, while some even showed disdain and hatred inwardly. Feng too. Hide quickly. Don't let that beast see you. The middle-aged uncle quickly reminded. Meng Qiuzhen was dazed. Lady Feng too. At the next moment, the leader of the group, the bald youngster, shouted. His eyes let out a sneaky light as he noticed Meng Qiuzhen from far away. "What's going on?" Meng Qiuzhen narrowed his eyes as he saw the bald youngster walking towards him with quick steps. The bald youngster had thick brows and large eyes, but had not even a single hair on his head. Instead, there was a tattoo of a green beast on his head. The bald youngster rubbed his green beast tattoo and smiled widely. "Lady Feng too, you are selling mushrooms again. I want to buy them." "Oh." Meng Qiuzhen was inwardly vigilant while asking, "How much do you want to buy?" The bald youngster raised a finger. "I want to buy 1 kilogram. Help me pick the big and good ones." Meng Qiuzhen began to pick the mushrooms. "This is good. That one is also good. I want them." The bald youngster nicknamed Green Beast pointed here and there. I told you. I want this one and that one," the bald youngster said. "Which ones do you want?" Meng Qiuzhen frowned. Sensing that the young man seemed to be toying with him, the bald youngster grinned. "Forget it, Sister Feng. Let me help you. We will choose together." The bald youngster acted immediately. Soft, so soft. He chose several mushrooms and said. Meng Qiuzhen replied. "These are all fresh. I picked them just today. Smooth, so smooth." The bald youngster praised again. Meng Qiuzhen slowly looked up and said with a frown, "You are touching my hand." Sorry. The bald youngster laughed. Meng Qiuzhen opened his eyes wide. "You are still touching?" "Accident. It was an accident." Meng Qiuzhen was speechless. He was actually being molested. Shameless guy. Actually molesting an innocent girl in broad daylight. Huang Xiaomi could not endure it anymore. He shouted, "Who are you? Why are you standing beside my Lady Feng?" The bald youngster was immediately provoked and stared at Huang Xiaomi. The two started arguing. Sparks seemed to be flying in the air. "This is the limit of Dream Butterfly, Immortal Goo." Meng Qiuzhen sighed inwardly. Dream Butterfly Immortal Goo could inspect the details of the next event of the Dream Realm, but it could not inspect what the owner of Dream Butterfly would encounter, because the changes in the Dream Realm would occur when the Goo cultivator entered and interacted with the Dream Realm. Meng Qiuzhen had already inspected the bald youngster and this two clan village's market in the previous stage, but he was unable to know what he would encounter specifically in advance. The two argued in front of Meng Qiuzhen. Their argument got increasingly heated to the point of nearly exchanging blows. Meng Qiuzhen was just about to persuade them to stop when a flash of inspiration hit him, and he kept quiet. "Ugh, I am getting angry. Brat, you are looking for a beating." The bald youngster suddenly rubbed his head and attacked. "Humph, who is afraid of you?" Huang Xiaomi did not show weakness. Attacking immediately, the two started fighting. Don't fight. Meng Qiuzhen called out while retreating. He was in a mortal body now, and had no ability to interfere in a Goo Master's battle. But fortunately, be it Huang Xiaomi or the bald youngster, they both cared about Meng Qiuzhen. When Meng Qiuzhen retreated to a safe distance, they started using Goo cultivator methods. After several rounds, Huang Xiaomi was clearly at a disadvantage and was not the bald youngster's match. This ruffian is really strong. Meng Qiuzhan was slightly surprised. He was well aware of Huang Xiaomi's strength after he acted as the latter in the first and second stage of the dream realm. But he did not expect the bald youngster to be so strong. He had already suppressed Huang Xiaomi. Wait a second. You are not a human. You are a variant human. The bald youngster suddenly called out, in the heat of the battle. Huang Xiaomi's identity was exposed. Amazing. You spy. What are you trying to do by entering my two-clan village? You definitely have bad intentions. Ha ha. I am going to make a great contribution. The bald youngster continued to shout. Attack him together. He is a mushroom man. We don't have to uphold the moral of humanity against such a person. Despicable. If you are a man, fight me alone. Huang Xiaomi was heavily outnumbered and captured, but he was still shouting indignantly. Ha! I will be two clans' hero by catching you. The bald youngster laughed, kicking the bound Huang Xiaomi. Just lie still, you variant human. After saying this, the bald youngster ran towards Meng Qiuzhan and asked in concern, Sister Feng, are you all right? You definitely had no idea or were forced by this mushroom man. Haha, how will you thank me now? Chapter 2145, Being a Bystander. Meng Qiuzhan shook his head, saying in an impatient tone, Brother Me is a good person. The bald youngster interrupted him, shouting hurriedly. As expected, the scheming mushroom man threatened Lady Feng. Let's go and report to the elders. Move. Under everyone's gaze, Meng Qiuzhan went with the flow and entered two-clan village with the bald youngster, Huang Xiaomi, and the rest on the way. The bald youngster reminded Meng Qiuzhan softly. Sister Feng, you need to report properly, otherwise you might be implicated as well. Variant humans like this mushroom man are vicious things. He is already sure to die. Meng Qiuzhan did not respond. The tied Huang Xiaomi shouted. That's right, I deceived Feng too and threatened her. You are creating a huge trouble for your two clan by capturing me. Someone will definitely come to save me. Huang Xiaomi was saved by Feng too. He clearly did not want to implicate his benefactor, thus saying this intentionally. The bald youngster led Huang Xiaomi to two clan villages' prison and received praises from two clan villages' elders. After everyone left, the bald youngster invited Meng Qiuzhan to his home. It is already late, Sister Feng. Come to my home to have dinner and stay for the night. Back when we were neighbors, we used to play together. My mother will also be very happy if she sees you. So this green beast had this kind of relationship with Feng too? Meng Qiuzhan nodded and let the plot develop. Soon, Meng Qiuzhan followed the bald youngster to his home. This was an ordinary two-storied bamboo building. Only the bald youngster and his mother lived here. The bald youngster opened the door to the kitchen and said loudly, Mother, look who I brought. Little Feng. I haven't seen you for many days. Are your parents okay? The bald youngster's mother was very enthusiastic. They are both fine. Thank you, Auntie. Meng Qiuzhan said half-heartedly. The bald youngster's mother nodded, smiling. Little Feng is here as a guest. Take a seat. I will prepare some dishes. The bald youngster said impatiently. Mother, you should prepare more delicious food. This meal will be your son's celebration feast as well. You brat, what have you done this time? The bald youngster's mother frowned. The bald youngster patted his chest. Mother, your son made a huge contribution this time. I arrested a mushroom man and locked him in prison. What? The bald youngster's mother paused. The bald youngster quickly narrated the event. The bald youngster's mother frowned as she looked at Meng Qiuzhan. Little Feng, this brat likes to talk nonsense. Is what he said true? Yes. Meng Qiuzhan nodded before adding. But big brother Huang Xiaomi is a good person. Before he finished speaking, he was once again interrupted by the bald youngster. All right, Sister Feng. I have warned you several times. You can say this at home, but don't talk about it outside. Okay. The bald youngster's mother waved her hand. Brat, there is no more soy sauce left. Go to the nearby shop and get some soy sauce. Hurry up and go. How can I make food without soy sauce? Oh, all right. After the bald youngster left, his mother walked towards Meng Qiuzhan. Come, little Feng, tell Annie what is going on. The dream realm's third stage passed like this. Fourth stage, deep in the night, underground prison. My identity changed again? When Meng Qiuzhen came to his senses, he immediately realized this. He had left the mortal Feng Tu's identity and become a Gu master again. Moreover, his cultivation was rank 4. I am actually the bald youngster's mother now. Meng Qiuzhen shortly discovered that the bald youngster's mother was actually a mushroom man. Meng Qiuzhen immediately had a guess. My current identity is probably that Huang Yuan. This dream realm originated from Paradise Earth. What was special about it was the identities in the different stages of the dream realm were not fixed. I might even play the role of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable in the next dream realm. Meng Qiuzhen smiled. Till now, he had not seen even the shadow of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable.I in the first stage of the dream realm. Meng Qiuzhen learned that Huang Xiaomi's Mushroom Man tribe had a former witch, Huang Yuan. She had great strength and was the only doctor that might be able to cure the plague. However, he knew from the old granny that this former witch Huang Yuan was expelled from the tribe for some reason. This mushroom man Huang Yuan concealed her identity and lived in Tu Clan Village, a human territory. She even adopted a human child to perfectly conceal her identity. If that bald youngster knew his mother was actually a mushroom man, I wonder what expression he would show. Meng Qiuzhen laughed that he used a very short period of time to get familiar with the goo worms on him. The goo worms were comprehensive, covering attack, defense, movement, healing, and other aspects. Meng Qiuzhen intuitively sensed some of these goo worms could combine to form a mortal killer move. Unfortunately, the situation now did not allow Meng Qiuzhen to test the killer move or its possible combination. The third stage already gave obvious clues. Although this mushroom man Huang Yuan was expelled from the tribe, her heart is with the tribe. She immediately moved during the night to save Huang Xiaomi. I must move quickly. Meng Qiuzhen immediately went deeper into the underground prison. The structure of the underground prison was simple and clear. Very soon, he saw Huang Xiaomi, who was tied to the wall in the deepest part of the prison. Meng Qiuzhen used his goo worms, silently melting the lock on the prison door. Huang Xiaomi, wake up. Meng Qiuzhen walked towards Huang Xiaomi and was about to inspect his condition. Suddenly, Huang Xiaomi detonated, turning into ash that covered Meng Qiuzhen. Shortly after, alarm bells rang and guards started shouting. The whole prison started emitting dark yellow light. The concealed goo formation was activated. Oh no, it is a trap. Meng Qiuzhen helplessly discovered that Huang Xiaomi had completely disappeared. That he hurriedly retreated, using poison goo to corrode the goo formation, but it showed little effect. Such guts! Breaking into my two clan's jail. It is indeed like that captive said, someone came to save him. Humph. Surrender quietly, and we might spare your life. Two elders with similar faces like they were twins were transported by the goo formation and arrived in front of Meng Qiuzhen. Meng Qiuzhen sneered as he started the fight. The battle lasted for 60 rounds before he was defeated and captured by the two elders. The dream realm dissipated. I failed. Meng Qiuzhen's soul returned to his body as he sighed. Paradise Earth's dream realm was not easy to explore, but Meng Qiuzhen had plenty of experience. He reached the 4th stage before failing. His soul was quite injured. Meng Qiuzhen began to think about the events while healing his soul. Those two elders are really strong. They both have rank 4 cultivation, and they have extremely good teamwork when fighting, like they are one person. Not only do I have to fight those two elders, I also have to deal with the goo formation. It is quite straining. Naturally, there is another important reason. I am not familiar with poison path goo worms. I should use this time to deduce the hidden poison path killer moves. There is another reason as well. Meng Qiuzhen reflected on himself and realized he had been fretful in the dream realm. Although that fake Huang Xiaomi deceived his initial detection methods, if he was in his normal mental state, he would not have rashly entered the prison and would have used goo worms to inspect the situation once again. At that time, Huang Yuan's mood was extremely anxious and I was unknowingly affected by it, clouding my judgment. There were emotional disturbances in the previous 3 stages as well, but they were all suppressed by Meng Qiuzhen at the 4th stage. The dream realm's emotions would naturally be deeper than the 3rd stage. This was also one of the difficulties of exploring dream realms. Using this time, Meng Qiuzhen deduced 5 poison path killer moves which were mostly based on poison goo. Entering the dream realm again. Meng Qiuzhen inspected patiently this time that he made an astonishing discovery. Not only was Huang Xiaomi fake, the whole underground prison was also fake. This is a fake prison. The real prison is still below. The Gu formation's main body is also below. Meng Qiuzhen carefully entered the real underground prison. Two Clan Village's real underground prison was unexpectedly complicated and extensive. The underground prison was like an ant nest. It was filled with thousands of paths intersecting each other. Meng Qiuzhen felt like he had entered a maze. The whole mountain seems to have been dug and made into a prison. This two-clan village is clearly an ordinary force, but it was actually able to do this. No, there is a trace of earth tunnel here. Meng Qiuzhen was probing carefully and soon discovered traces of one of the 10 Earths, earth tunnel. This mountain must be of famous mountain level. It contains a natural earth tunnel. Two-clan village just slightly developed the earth tunnel and was able to gain a large amount of resources. No wonder they were able to nurture 2 rank 4 elders. Meng Qiuzhen was moving everywhere in the prison. The underground prison was mostly empty, and there were more beasts than mortals locked up in it. Meng Qiuzhen was still unable to find any clues even after some time. The dream realm had exhausted a large amount of his soul foundation by now. Those 2 Gu masters. Meng Qiuzhen suddenly heard the sounds of Gu cultivators traveling through the earth tunnel from ahead. He quickly moved aside and hid. Swish, swish. The 2 Gu masters slipped out from the earth tunnel, the 2 rank 4 elders. Meng Qiuzhen was observing secretly and immediately recognized them. They were all along in the underground prison, so they were able to reach the fake prison immediately in the previous situation. The 2 elders talked while moving. This mushroom man is quite tight-lipped. He actually endured such cruel torture. Even if he does not say it, we are already aware that a mushroom man tribe has been hiding in the surroundings of two-clan village. It is just that we don't know the specific location. Right? We must obtain the specific location of the mushroom man tribe from this captive and eliminate them. In a few days, we will be able to remove the defensive methods on his soul. At that time, we will know everything by searching his soul. 0. The title is literally translated as buying soy sauce.